I'm excited to be speaking to you at this live event. So today I'm going to be talking about consolidation, and specifically why we're seeing consolidation take place at such a rapid pace across the industry. Now, some of you may recognize me from the columns I write for Sam about once every other month in Paint and Panel. Others of you may actually be subscribers to my weekly insights and get my weekly updates. But for those of you who don't know who I am, allow me a couple of minutes to introduce myself and what I do. So I run an advisory firm called Supplement. We provide mergers and acquisition advisory with a specific focus on the collision repair segment, or the smash repair segment as we call it in Australia. We have a global client base, and we represent collision repair shops, paint distributors, parts distributors, anybody in the automotive aftermarket. And we provide mergers and acquisition advisory. So what's that mean? Well, frankly, we help business owners like yourself buy companies and sell companies. We then tie it all together with strategic advisory and corporate finance functions. So if you need advisory help in terms of managing the financial side of your business, we come and do that. All with the idea of increasing the overall value of your business. So consolidation obviously is an important theme to me, especially as it relates to the automotive industry. The reason it's important is because it's changing the way business is being done. Whereas traditionally the industry was always dominated by very small family operated organizations, that's no longer the case in the industry. The reality is across the globe, whether you're in North America, Europe, UK, or Australia, the bigger are getting bigger and the smaller are finding it more and more difficult to compete in that environment. And it's left a lot of business owners scratching their head wondering, what the heck happened in the past 5 years? How has this industry changed so much, so drastically, when literally decades prior, it changed at a very slow pace? And so what we're really seeing here is a confluence of a number of events. The most prominent one that we're seeing is that the industry has a level of interest by the financial markets never seen before. And so what I mean by that is private equity and what I refer to as Wall Street, but publicly traded entities are more interested in the industry than they ever have been in the past. And the reason is because the industry has been very fragmented, and so it allows the large players to grow inorganically at a very rapid pace. And so why is inorganic growth so important? Well, the reality is in today's global economic environment, growth the old-fashioned way is very difficult to come by. The economy is growing at a slow pace. In most developed nations, it's growing at a suboptimal pace, and so it's difficult for companies to find growth through just increasing sales from a static base of sales. So instead what we're seeing is a lot of these companies go out and begin to acquire growth. So they're buying other companies to drive their top line growth. Additionally, it's not just about top line growth. We're also seeing the leading companies in the industry acquire companies because they can leverage what's called economies of scale. There's the idea of cost synergies. So when you go out and you buy a company, it's the idea that two together is greater than two individually. And so what that means is when a group like AMA or Boyd or Caliber or Gerber, whoever the large buyer may be, when they acquire a smaller operator, there's certain synergies that they can take advantage of. They could rationalize the cost structure. They can purchase parts and materials in a way that's more advantageous as a large group as opposed to a smaller group. And so what happens is it creates economies of scale. And the idea behind an economy of scale is that the larger you become as an organization, the wider the base of sales you could spread out your fixed cost, effectively lowering your overall marginal cost. So in simple language, what that means is the bigger you become, the lower your cost structure becomes. And so this turns into a very attractive investment opportunity for a lot of the large financial players in the world. And so we're seeing it play out. We're seeing it in Australia with AMA's very rapid and very successful and very impressive growth. We're seeing it in North America with the rise of the Big Four. We see it in the UK. We see it in other markets. We're even seeing it start to take off in China, in Mexico. It's obviously in Canada as well. So there's a lot of change going on in the industry, and a lot of it is driven by the influence of finance on this very Main Street business. So what's that mean for a business owner who's been operating this business for many years? Somebody once commented to me recently, they said, Brad, I understand consolidation, but I think what gets me the most is that my son will not have the same opportunity that I had in this business. And he's right, and that really struck me. It hit me for a moment because I sat and thought about that and realized that the industry is changing, and it's changing for the better. It's becoming more efficient, more institutional, more corporatized. Those are good things. They're good things for the business owners, they're good things for the customers. But they're absolutely right. It is changing over time. It is evolving. And the skills required to successfully operate a smash repair business in today's environment are very different than what they were in the past. Specifically, the companies that are growing in this industry are the ones who are looking at the industry as a chess game. They're looking 5 and 10 years out. How do they drive value for the larger customers in the industry? One of the reasons AMA is so successful is because they're aggressively pursuing an acquisitions-based growth strategy. This acquisition-based strategy is a very cost-effective way to grow. It's a very effective way to grow, and it's been reflected in their stock price. The group has gotten has effectively more than doubled their stock price in 12 months as a result of a very effective, very accretive base acquisition policy. So it's a very financial way to look at the business. Now, what I'm saying and what that says is that in order to succeed going forward, it's not just about fixing cars. It's important to fix cars. It's important to offer good customer service. But it's also critically important to look at the rest of the business that you have and look at it from an entire holistic point of view. There's finance, there's legal, there's marketing, there's HR, there's accounting. There's all these different business functions that are critical to the success of your organization. And so being able to manage these aspects and being able to focus on these aspects and being able to grow your company is really what's going to drive success going forward. Now, there's huge opportunity in that. And for those of you who have a timeline of 10, 15 years, there's a great opportunity to really build a world-class organization similar to the way that AMA has. And if that sounds like a lot of work, or that sounds like something that's not cut out for you, and perhaps you say, Brad, I didn't get into this business to build a corporation. I got in this business to fix cars. Well, that's okay too. The reality is that valuations for smash repair businesses are at an all-time high. In North America, they're at an all-time high. In Australia, they're better than they ever have been. And I believe personally there's potential for those valuations to increase as well. So if you look at the industry and you say, man, this isn't what it used to be, I'm not sure I want to be in this industry anymore. This is also there's never been a better opportunity as a owner of a collision repair, smash repair business to sell your business. And so that's really the genesis of my business. Is I help my clients sell their business at a better price and better terms than they would otherwise. I help them acquire businesses for fair prices and better terms and better outcomes than otherwise would. And I help them put together a financial plan and a corporate strategic advisory process that is more robust than they would on their own. And it's a fascinating time to be in the business. It's an absolutely fascinating time to be in the business. And I really think that for owners of the right mindset, there's never been a better time to be in business. So I welcome the opportunity. I appreciate the opportunity to get in front of you and speak to you today. You can reach out to me directly. You can sign up for my weekly letters at my website, supp-co.com. That's supp-co.com. I'm very available via email. I'm very available via Skype, as some of you in the audience already know. And I would be honored to work with you to really create a business that is bigger and greater than what it is now. So thank you very much for the opportunity to speak to you, and I look forward to interacting with all of you in the future. Bye now.